Okay, how's it going, everybody? I am back to deliver a custom request from Tasharia Johnson. I believe I pronounced that correctly. If I didn't, Tasharia, let me know, and I will make a public apology to you if I did make a mistake. All right. So Tasharia wants to know about Scorpio man and Taurus woman, and I'm going to say this, right? It's a disservice to talk about compatibilities when you're just talking about sun signs. It really is. I cannot really give you the in-depth qualities that both of you possess in order to be compatible, because it's just solar channeled. It's too on the surface, just direct sun sign characteristics, and there's so much more to astrology. There's so much more to people interacting and being compatible. So I don't want to be a disservice to you. However, very briefly, I'm going to run across the sun sign characteristics for the most part of these two signs, and then I'm going to give a more in-depth lesson here, if you will. Apparently I'm choosing to use your project to do so. Just bear with me. If there's any, if you disagree with any of this or how this went down, just get in the comment box, or you can message me privately and we can try to work something out. Okay. So I want to still give a lesson here. I think I have something impactful to say. So first I want to say, if you have any little ones around, you may want to put them in the back room, because we're talking about Scorpio and Taurus right now. So I may say a few things that, pretty much. Okay, so let's get into it, right? Scorpio sun, steely exterior, soft inside. You may not know it. Some of them do express it, they're sensitive and, they'll react to the quickest thing with the temper type Scorpios, but some other Scorpios are, you can see it in their eyes. You see the intensity in their eyes, you see the intensity in their walk and their build, but they will harness what their sensitivity, with this gritty exterior that they possess. That all depends, right? For the most part, though, they are introspective, meaning they like to go in the inside and come on out. So there's a psychoanalysis 24/7 going on with the Scorpio sun sign. I said this previously, that they really get the rap for being sexual, which they are. The intensity does drive intensely with Scorpio, and the libido is their ruling body part. So that is true. However, I think sometimes they get more of a bad rap for being a like a slutty sign. And for the most part, these people Scorpios are so focused that you'd be surprised how much they put into being in a relationship. And that's what I'm going to get into right now. Taurus is what Taurus can appreciate definitely about Scorpio. Now, other than that, okay, good with resources, all right. More of a solo type energy. However, they know how to utilize power and get into positions so where people know that that's the power person. And so even if people with more power see a Scorpio, they say, okay, we'll put that Scorpio in power. Scorpios are big on power. They know what to do, is pretty much what I'm saying. Now, there could be a streak of jealousy. There could be a streak of possessiveness, about the Scorpio sun sign as well. And I'm going to get more in depth to that as well. Now, Taurus sun sign, plan of action. These are planners. They are gradual people. They're congenial. They're cool. They're smooth. And that energy rubs off on the people that are immediately around them. They will take action. However, they are better at hedging on other people taking action. Right? It's one of the Taurus secrets. Don't be mad at me, Taurus. Okay. But for the most part, yeah, they're congenial. They are family-oriented people. They have a strong sense of quality, or belief rather, in family ties, or tribal type ties. They are homebodies at heart, and they like to be in peaceful areas. They like the peaceful route. Taurus don't compete. Competition is not their thing. If it came down to it, they believe that being them is all that they have to do. So that's a real, I think that's one of the greatest qualities about Taurus. But don't let me bias this situation. Let me get into the lesson that I want to say about these two signs. Okay, from my experience, right, and I've been doing some studying, right, I got some notes here that I want to start on too. Okay, first I want to talk about the moon and the sun, because this is how I was able to study this. I was tracking the moon because it rotates quicker than the rest of the celestial bodies, right? So I wanted to understand how the moon behaves, or how people behave when the moon is in Scorpio, and how people behave when the moon is in Taurus. So I did this study on myself. Now I know we're supposed to be talking about the sun signs. You want to know about you and your significant other, right? However, what I want to discuss here, and I think I want to start doing more videos like this, is the energy of the signs. Because as a Pisces, I have the ability to be mutable enough to experience all of these signs and experience all of the planets inside of all of these signs and make an assessment on them. I'm not sure if every sign can do that. However, there is a possibility, I'm guessing, I'm gathering. So perhaps you can utilize this information and apply it to yourself and see if this works for you as well. But I'm going to give you my experience of when the moon starting is in Scorpio, all right? In my natal chart, my Scorpio is third house, which deals with my immediate community, emails, communication, and stuff like that, right? In my current chart, my Scorpio is ninth house, which deals with travel, separating from things that I don't no longer want to do, and it deals with philosophical ideas and higher education and things of that matter, right? So my Taurus is in the third house in the current state, and my Taurus is ninth house in my natal chart. And I think there's a real distinction here that needs to be made, and I'm going to tell you what I felt with the moon inside of Scorpio, right? So I'm going to relate this to the current time. And I'm going to say, in my current time is in the ninth house. And the reason why I say I'm going to relate it to my ninth house and to the current time, because I believe it's stronger than what is in my natal chart. So I want to put the emphasis on this, right? And the reason why I say that is because, you know, the whole sexual thing going on with the Scorpio sign, right? Indeed, I felt intensity. Every time the moon gets inside of Scorpio, I feel this deep intensity. However, it's not the type of intensity that I necessarily want to feel at home when I want to be sexual or when I want to be with someone. I'm more along the lines of completing a task that gets me closer to being able to travel, to see the muse or the prospect or whatever the case, whatever you want to call it. You know, I call it, there's different things these days. I'm a bit modern with it. But I'm more interested in doing those tasks to be able to reach those people that I want to contact long distance instead of being relative to where Scorpio is in my natal chart, which is my third house. Okay, so I'm focused on the ninth house where the moon is currently at. All right, so what happens here with the Taurus, and I'm going to bounce to Taurus, what a Taurus sun sign will like about this is that determination, that focus that the Scorpio energy possesses. It's the energy. So if I could possess this 3 days out of a month when the moon goes into Scorpio, imagine how Scorpio is on a 24/7 clock. The sun Scorpio, all right? This energy that I'm describing is how a Scorpio operates. So what Taurus sun will appreciate about this is that it's fixed energy. Taurus is a fixed sign, okay? Scorpio is a fixed sign, okay? So, you know, Taurus is like longevity, right? They like to be able to hedge on something that they can predict. So Taurus sign will love this about Scorpio. I'm talking about adore this about Scorpio. However, this is where I think a little complication may arise. It may arise because Scorpio does possess a different type of jealousy than Taurus. And Taurus, for the most part, attract the same type of people that they are. So Tauruses are possessive and jealous at times. They will attract Scorpios in their lives, all right? Now, the thing about this, though, is Tauruses like to play it cool. They're really not really with the conflict thing and all that. And Scorpio, because they put so much determination and investigation into learning you and choosing, being selective who they sleep with, yeah, you might have not known that. Scorpios harness their energy on who they're going to sleep with. It's like they're preying on you. But this could be a great quality depending on how you perceive it to be. Taurus, though, however, as I was getting to say, may not like that because it's too intense for them. They're not able to do that gradual stiff arm that they do. Because I can attest that when the moon is in Scorpio and I'm communicating with someone, it may be because of my third house natal chart. At the same time, it may just be Scorpio energy, period. If I'm communicating with you and we got something going back and forth and then all of a sudden you stop communicating with me, there's a problem with that. Like, I sense that, you know what I mean? So a Taurus has Taurus has that tendency to do that. Like they'll like not be in contact with you for a few days, and they don't feel that they need to give you an explanation for it or none of that. You know what I mean? That's not going to fly right with the Scorpio, and the reason why is because they put so much focus into what they're doing. They feel like their intelligence is insulted if you give them a stiff arm or a cold shoulder. Okay, so those are the two things, the two main things you got. One that's beneficial because they're fixed and they're focused and they are determined to acquire. Scorpios don't play. That energy, that Scorpio energy does not play when it comes to that. The flip side is when the Scorpio will want to know, where you at? What are you doing? Why didn't you text me back? Because they're putting all of this effort in. You are an investment to Scorpio, okay? And you need to be mindful of that. Now, this is another reason that I can attest, or another way that I can attest to the Scorpio behaving suspectful, because Scorpios can be suspecting, and don't get it twisted. Sometimes they're right. A lot of the times their intuition is sharp and they're right. Okay. Yes, sometimes they can be suspecting to the point where they sting themselves. I get that part. But for the most part, when you give them a reason to suspect something, they're head on. They're head on, and this is what I have to say, right? When the moon was inside of Taurus, this is what I've noticed. I felt way more sexual. I felt way more pleasurable. I felt way more relaxed. And I'm talking about heightened sexuality. I'm laying in my bed, and it's just like I didn't want to go nowhere. I'm like stuffing my face with the best foods. Strong Taurian energy. However, I was inviting. This is something that may not sit well with Scorpio energy at all, because that Taurian energy was like this. And I'm gonna keep it official. Like, I was watching rated X sites, porn sites and stuff like that, and I was just switching off, different one. This is that inviting energy of the Taurus, and Taurians may not tell you that they keep a side dude, they keep a side chick, they keep something in pocket for if you mess up, because they like to have options. Yeah, they want a steady relationship, they do, but they feel like they're not going to shortchange themselves by hedging everything on you. Okay, so this is that energy that I was experiencing with the moon being in Taurus. Now, mind you, I said my Taurus in the current state is in my third house. So I didn't want to leave my immediate community. I stayed right in my place. I stayed in my bed like almost all day. And the intensity was more sexually involved. So this is what I have to say about this union as well. I believe that Taurus is more sexual and more carnal than the Scorpio energy. Flat out. If you differ, if you disagree, get in the comment box. We can all learn from each other on this. I'm giving you what I studied for this particular video. And I think that's a reason why Scorpio energy is so suspecting, because as much as they get the rap for being sexual, they really do a lot of mind work. They put a lot of mind work into the events that set the environment to be able to do those types of things. Like Scorpio is really focused on resources, right? They're resourceful energies. They are intensely loyal. So the things that they are building, they're building for them and you. Yeah, for real. So if they sense that you are too inviting with your style of communication, and you need your space to the point where you're giving them a stiff arm, a cold shoulder, while they're putting so much focus and determination on the other end, these are the things that you're going to have to look out for. Now, this is reaching the time limit. I'm going to come back with a part 2 of this video because I believe it's that important. Give me 1 second.
Above average, raw, organized manager. T's Madagascar. See my drive, they reply fast as a NASCAR. TV plasma, queen since a teen, give me keys to your Jaguar. Oh, I'ma hop into my avatar. You should hop into your avatar. Let's update each other's repertoire. As above, as below, I hop into her avatar. She has above average, bro. Hop into that avatar. T's Madagascar. See my drive, they reply fast as a NASCAR. Caged in my cage for days and on that. She raises our refrain, jealous of Mary Jane because my aim is a mouth. No smoke in my face, don't play that in my house. So obey, okay,